Well, out here today for a short walk. I just came up on what I thought was an old shed, but then I saw the other side sticking up. It's an old deadhead buried in the grass and ice and snow. I don't know if I'll be able to get this out without breaking it. I'm surprised no one found this. This is pretty close to where I was just seeing some boot tracks back that way. Okay, I saw it from probably right about here, and when there's snow and ice on the ground, it can make it tricky, especially if there's a shed that's somewhat buried. But right there it is. That's what I saw, that little tiny thing sticking up. And I was heading this way anyways. I was walking up just like this, and I got here. Then I definitely confirmed that it was an antler. Man, that thing's been sitting for years. Look at how cracked up that is. Wow. Look at green moss on it, on the antlers and everything. I might have to, I don't know, we'll see if I can get that out. All right, almost there, I think. Spent about 15 minutes on it already. Should probably just cover it up with brush and grass and come back later a different day, but I'm gonna give it another 10-15 minutes, see if I can get it. Well, finally, after about 30 to 40 minutes, finally got this sucker loose. That was the hardest part, getting that G2 dug out. So kind of crazy for this old thing, but hey, at least I'm coming out of the woods with something. Looked to have been probably like a 3-year-old, judging by the rack. Looking at the teeth, I'm going with 3-year-old as well. 2-year-olds usually are a little bit sharper on the molars back here. That definitely isn't a mature buck, but just a nice 3-year-old. 10-pointer, busted G3 there. Short brow tines. Yeah. Nice one for the garage. Well, my dad just called me. He said he just found a little one. This is gonna be his first shed in multiple years. I think 2 years. Dragged him out here today.
When I come up, and I was close.
Let me get a close up.
I was like on this side, and I came up through somewhere else.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shed.
Well, first shed in 2 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Dragged you out here.
Yeah. I think it's a freshie.
Definitely fresh.
I know. Old eagle I had. See if he can find it.
Yeah, I was looking for it after he found it. He said I walked right by it, and
You did. You were over right by that.
well, look at how small this thing is.
I told you it was small. I told
You got lucky to see that too.
I found it. You would have walked right by it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. You were right by that cedar tree. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. You walked right through here. I think you walked in like this.
Yeah. Well, whatever. Crazy. Just found the second shed in the backyard. The house is right over there. This is right on the corner of the 3 properties, ours and our 2 neighbors. So here's a house there, house behind me. And I got a trail camera right here in the corner. So there's my trail camera. For many, many years, I've always ran a camera right on this tree. There's an apple tree here, and just looking this way. And the last couple times I've checked this camera, I've just came over here and threw a couple cobs of corn from my food plots, just to kind of, I have a vine here, but they don't really use it that much. Not as much as some of the other vines that I've set up on other properties. Anyways, I just threw a couple cobs here just to get a little bit better pictures, because when they were walking by, this is kind of a crappy camera. I was getting a lot of blurry pictures. Anyways, I did not expect to just find a shed right here. That's cool. Little spike, but you know, shed's a shed. That's really cool. Let me get a picture of that. looking back up towards the house this way. So let's pick it up. Kind of a heavy base for a spike. Big base, but I don't really recognize this deer. I mean, there was like at least one or two spikes, I think, running around. This is the smaller one, probably. I'll put up some pictures if I got some. I bet I do. I mean, the trail camera's right here. So that's cool. That might have even been here last time. Because last time I was at this camera, there was more snow here. It's hard to say. All right, just came across one. I'm actually out here today just checking up on my trees down in here, figuring out how much I can really buy and plant in here this year. I was going to plan on putting a few more in down here and some red osier dogwood. And I noticed once I got to this grassier middle spot right here, right by some of my white cedar trees, and a lot of this snow is melted off, and I'm just walking down in here, I can see a lot of deer are bedding in this grass, and I could smell like a strong odor of probably buck piss. And sure enough, I just walked right up on I think I know which deer this is. This is off of, I think, a 2-year-old, kind of a goofier looking buck. Food plots are just right up there. This is only the second time I've walked through here, and obviously I'm keeping an eye out for sheds, but I'm just kind of going through here checking up on all my trees because I haven't really been in here much since last summer. So just back this way is where you can see all this snow's kind of melted off here. And I noticed that there was some melted off grass right up here where they could possibly be laying. And sure enough, there's a shed laying right here. Oh, there goes a rabbit. But right here, you could see something was laying. Maybe even today when I first came out here, there might have been a couple deer and they just ran off. Or definitely last night. That's fresh deer hair right there. Who knows when this one fell. Let me get a quick picture of that. Just a little bit of blood on there. All right. Yeah, I know exactly which deer that is. That's kind of a crappy 2.5-year-old buck. There was a couple other real nice 2-year-olds that ended up getting shot out here this year. And this one and another 8-point, a little bit nicer looking one than this is probably the worst looking 2-year-old that I had pictures of that survived out here. There's like a 10-point 2-year-old and an 8-point 2-year-old that busted both his G3s, but there was 2 other like real nice 10-point 2-year-olds that ended up getting shot, or 9-pointers or whatever they were. But yeah, pretty nice looking little shed. This is technically the first fresh shed I found this year while actually shed hunting. Those other ones I found near my food plots, I was mainly just checking cameras in part 1. So that's pretty cool. Kind of fresh, not really. I can't believe this. I usually never find sheds right here. I'm standing right in my, well, the last couple of years this has been clover, but this is the first year brassica plot that I see the winter rye into. I got a camera right up there on the other end of the plot. Oh my God, I'll just shut up and show you this. So right there it is. Looks like it's possibly a little bit chewed. And this is a really weird buck because he dropped that side a long time ago, like in early January, and he held the other side a long time, at least 2 or 3 weeks. He held the other side before probably shedding that side. I haven't seen him in a while, but he dropped this shed literally early to mid-January because I got a trail camera right up there on the other side of the food plot, and he was in front of that camera and then holding both sides, and then literally half hour later he was in front of that camera again, only holding one side. He had dropped this side, obviously, and I knew it had to have been close by. I didn't think it would literally be this close. Holy crap. You know, when I checked that camera, you know, I obviously didn't walk through here. I might have walked in on our ATV trail and did a loop right past the camera or something, but this was obviously laying here. Oh my God, that is picture perfect. I'm gonna get a picture of that buried in the snow like that. This is his good side too, because the other side he broke off the G2. This buck busted off both G2s last year. Wow, that is so cool. This is literally the nicest buck I had pictures of here that survived the whole season. All right, we'll do the reveal right here. Dang. Wow, that was under the snow and it was still chewed. Because when he dropped this, there really wasn't, there might have been a lot of snow, but I know the snow melted off for a short period of time, and then we got more snow and then that melted. But wow, at least it's still, at least all the tines are still intact. Pretty nice. That's just a real tight curl on this buck. This is a really unique deer too. He's here, he showed up like in early October, and he was only around until about like the 20th of October. Mid-October he must have left and rutted somewhere completely somewhere else, and I did not get pictures of him at all until the 1st of December. I literally thought he had just gotten shot either during rut or during, you know, probably during rut, because I didn't see him at all during rut and not at all during gun season. And then all of a sudden he shows up late season here in December 1st. So he was just in the area a little bit in October, and then he stuck around, you know, the whole winter here. God, that is so cool. That's gonna be one of my nicer sheds of the year right there. I mean, it's not a giant, but it's at least a 4-year-old buck. So sweet.